Are we all in agreement, right, that Talking the Hardest is number one?
Right.
No, nah. I wouldn't say number one. I think that Powell, for me, is the biggest and the most influential.
Powell's number two.
I think Powell's one for me, Talking the Hardest is two, and then everything after that, then I think C-Biz has to be number three, and then the 4 and 5 are debatable.
What gets a better reaction today, Talking the Hardest or Powell?
Today, it depends on
Talking the
Hardest because it depends on what audience.
Talking the Hardest.
Talking the Hardest for sure.
So then Talking the Hardest has to be number one.
Yeah,
but I think because
of
the generations, that it kind of spans and it talks to. Because I think that Giggs is still. I don't want to say Giggs is more relevant than Biz now because he's not, but they make very different music. Like Giggs' music is closer to the music he started making, whereas Biz isn't, innit? So a lot of the younger guys know Biz as so people know him as Festa Skank Biz. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't know him
Rari
as
Biz.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rari
They don't know More Fire.
But and also,
you know them ones.
exactly.
Because they don't know More Fire Biz, yeah?
Alright, wait, where does More Fire land in this?
Nah, man, it's a banger, but not
Oi.
top 5. Not top 5.
Oi used to
didn't
mash
go from the street.
up
Not
raves.
top 5 though.
It's not top 5, but Oi used to mash
Oi
up
was there.
raves.
Top 10. I'll put in there. Top 10. if it
Oi
was a top
used
10.
to mash up raves.
Oi was
Mash
serious.
them
We still
up.
play Oi today as well.
Bruv.
Talking the Hardest for me is street because if we're talking street bangers, it's the same with like American. An artist can make a song for the streets, but at the same time, it hits different when you got a real road man just talking that real smoke and the song just blows. Because we're talking, Giggs was talking about my PYG's Black Bandana Gang, and this was then getting played on.
Yeah,
Extra, one extra.
But that's what I'm
Capital
saying.
One.
Again, because
crazy.
you know the crud man's on. It resonates more. It's the same with C-Biz.
Yeah.
Man, because man know man's active. When you hear this, it's like, this is a real gunman tune.
Even Know Better.
Yeah.
Because the same with Know Better because you know these men are on stuff.
Yeah.
So in your head, you're like, cool. Do you know what I'm saying? But with the power thing, like the impact it had, there were obviously street man in there, but the impact it had at the time, bro, it was banned from venues. Man were like, you can't play that here because man would turn my venue upside down.
Someone might get bold.
Yeah, man were fighting. Like I remember, it would have been like school prom or something like that, and they played it like, and literally, even before the first verse, they locked it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
because man were dashing people all over the place, and I think it was like end of school, like prom or something. They locked it, bro, before the verse because man were fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
You see what I mean? Like Talking the Hardest doesn't provoke that reaction in a rave. It never did. Man was like, gun fingers, boom, boom. Man were fighting when Power came.
Oh, it was crazy.
You know, that's why for me, Power's number one because of what it made people do. Do you see what I'm saying? It made man lose their senses.
Yeah, you're right.
Man took leave of their senses and started fighting their own friends.
Yeah.
Like that's
It's
what
true.
happened.
It's
Man
true,
were mosh
actually.
pitting. I've never seen black people mosh pit apart from that tune. Man mosh pit to that tune, bro. Think of deep it, bro. Anywhere was Glasgow, blood, when that tune came on. Every man, mosh pits, chairs flying, man was standing on tables. Black people don't normally behave like that when songs come on.
It was going mad.
That's why I think for me, Pow, in terms of impact,
Just reminds me of
gotta be number
Watford.
one.
It reminds me of Watford area, bro. Talking
Yeah,
about
it
this.
does.
It reminds me of area and all
Seeing
of them
that
ones.
PA,
Ocean, all of that.
When you listen to it, it's a complete different energy to Pow. Pow makes you want to jump up and down and do a
Pow's
mad
like
thing.
energetic,
Whereas this is a laid
It's more
back.
festival. I think Pow's more festival, bro.
Yeah.
It would work at a festival.
Absolutely. Whereas Talking the Hardest is more laid back, bad man thing. You
This
get
one
me?
is
Holding
like
a Henny,
Whereas
holding a
Pow is
Henny
like,
in your hand.
what-
This is one of those
just
ones
like-
you'll see the guys back in the days in any area in their golfs just listen to
that's
this.
it.
You know what I mean?
The one thing I didn't like about that debate, and shout out to Lippy, Moggs and Tricky, the only thing I didn't like about it was they were kind of disrespecting Powell because it's a grime anthem. But you have to look at the time period, and at that time, grime was the roads. Grime was what drill.
there you go, and before
grime
that,
is what
even
drill is
jungle.
today.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
No,
it
it
was,
wasn't.
bro.
No,
bro,
don't-
no, it was
don't
the
do that,
roads.
don't do that. It
Bro,
wasn't.
grime was before gigs, right? Before Talking the Hardest
was.
came out,
It
grime
wasn't
was the
road
thing.
though. No, do you know
Yes,
why?
It was,
Let me-
bro, because they were talking
Hey,
gun
bro,
roads.
listen,
explain, let me
no,
explain
hold
quickly.
on.
How can you
Because
say
of what
it
you're
wasn't?
telling me,
These men
that
weren't making
and
roads.
Skeppy and the man went on the road.
Yeah, but it wasn't this. Can I just have my piece?
Okay, go
I
on.
get what you lot are saying, but at that same time, there was real leng man out here, and I'm talking the PDCs, North Stars, the Mash Towns. Those guys were at the same period that all the grime MCs were doing their
Yeah,
thing.
but that doesn't mean these
And-
men weren't making roads.
but that's not the argument, though.
But then
Okay, go on.
you said you compared it to the drill, and I'm
Yeah.
saying no. What would be compared to the drill was that rap that was
No, because
talking
that
the real
wasn't
smoke.
prevalent. It wasn't
That
prevalent.
wasn't
enough.
prevalent.
But
That
was a
was
very,
talking
very
real
small
small.
niche.
Yeah, but that was
there
after
a
though.
small
Because
niche.
if
I
you're
was a
telling me
big
like
grime
guys
guy.
like Skepta, Prez T, and all these man were on the road, fam.
Yeah, but can I just say, I was talking. but I was-
everyone that was on Power more or less was from the roads.
I know,
From the
but you
roads.
said
They
you
were.
compared the style of music, and I just tried to say to you, grime.
No, he means the culture, not necessarily the style of music, but the culture is in the background.
One of the biggest lyrics in Power was, "Oh, crack your skull."
Yeah.
What's what? Pardon?
So?
Like, I'm saying to say in rap though, they were talking like the PDC.
Bruv, and
they were
the-
talking about
but
my
the
boy's
shooting
got
bars
such
in
and
Power
such,
as well.
boom, 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 boom. Like they were talking real stuff, like the drill guys are talking. Where grime was more, it was people were still hood. So I'm not at all saying people aren't hood from grime.
Yeah.
That's not what I was saying. I'm just trying to say I see where they're coming from.
So
in
are
the
you
sense-
saying the streets weren't listening to Power?
What do you mean?
Were the streets listening to Power? Were people in the hood listening to Power at the time?
Yeah, people were.
It wasn't because it wasn't.
Yeah, people
you,
were.
It wasn't just uni around the country.
100% people talking to listening to Power.
Yeah, because it was on Channel U. It was birthed within the culture.
No, 100%. And it's the same way though. It's like you might say, Stormzy, shut up. People from the hood will listen to Stormzy, shut up, but it won't listen to it in the same way that they'll listen to a Digger D track. Do you know what I mean? And does it understand the comparison I'm trying to make?
No, I know what you're trying to say, but that's more to do with the overall packaging and how they've packaged it. That's all. Because what me and Mitch are saying is culturally, bro. Like these men come from the same estates as these other men. So just because man's not talking about poking man up or whatever, that don't mean that like it's not the same culture. It's the same culture. It's just packaged different, innit?
Yeah, I get
the
that.
grime team was packaged different.
Because
all Skeppy and them man there with
you
the
don't think
black
grime was
glove
drill?
and-
You don't think grime was what drill is today? back then?
No, it
for
wasn't.
No,
It wasn't.
culturally, I think yes. I think what drill is for these young guys is what grime was to us.
Yeah, definitely culturally.
And
but
that-
not,
that's what I mean.
But not
and that's what
content.
Mitch means. But in terms
No,
of
I'm
the
not talking about
content,
content.
no,
I'm
he's
talking
not
about
talking about the
culture.
content.
That's what I'm talking about,
He means
culturally.
for the culture.
That's
But
what I'm
I'm trying to
talking
say, I know for a fact where Margs and these are come from. They come from a point where they're trying to say grime, which, like you said, people from the same area is the same thing, but grime just felt a bit more mainstream in the content. It wasn't as graphic. That's why I say you can't really compare it to drill, because drill, I would compare it more to what PDC and those guys are doing. These guys were actually
North
really
Star, I get you.
talking like they were bringing.
But there were grime artists that were doing that.
Yeah, but you're
though.
not on it. Basically, my whole point is, I felt like that era, they were bringing in gang into
Yeah.
music. Like
Yeah.
they were making it known, this is gang and this is music. Similar to what Joe was doing. Whereas I felt grime was a culture, and it was more like they made it more musical.
Yeah, you're right.
They
No,
started,
I agree- I
they
get
had
what
it,
you're
they
saying.
let it roll deep. Not like they made it. They were like, even
them
if
men
we're
were
from
from
these
the roads,
areas,
but it
we're
wasn't
gonna
just
make
road
this a
content.
music collective.
Yeah,
Rather than we're gonna our gang is going to make music, which is what a lot of these drill guys are
Nah,
doing.
you're right.
No, I get what you're saying, but don't be fooled as well. That a lot of the drill now isn't actually that now. Like drill has gone commercial, and a lot of the people that make drill now are actually not from the roads like that. A lot of people are lying in their lyrics. A lot of people
course.
talking about
Yeah,
their
but
poking.
that's just
I'll
all
probably say
music.
80% of them now are doing
Yeah,
that.
of
always
course.
been
Them
that,
man ain't
though,
really,
innit?
them man ain't really
Yeah.
chefing no one, innit?
But my thing
music's
is,
always been-
is like, I just think to an extent, I get what you're saying. They looking at it like, no, it wasn't the greasy road.
Yeah,
but,
that's what I think
but
they were
I do
coming
feel
from.
like they were still looking at it like it was proper sneaky
Nah,
and
which is
corny.
wrong.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
That's
You
wrong.
had people back then that were like Gets, Esco's bars, all of these
And
guys
you
were
still
they were
can't check to
serious.
these men now.
Chronics, yeah.
They were talking grease
Yeah.
in
And
their
even
grime,
now-
bro.
Yeah, you're right.
Gunshots, robbing man, licking man off,
Yeah, it
chasing
was
man's
crazy
phones,
Titch
jacking
look.
man.
Bruv, Titch, bruv,
Titch was a bad boy for all of
Can
these
them man
lot.
really say?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That these man were really on things. Even
Yeah.
Gets now, he's like, bro, I don't have to talk that grease because I'm not on that now. Like my life's different. But when Gets is ready to do the grease thing,
even Scorcher, Terminator, all
Yeah,
of these lot,
it's
they were
true.
talking like grease, like, and there was a period where grime, like, if you went to a set or you went to a certain area and you was with a crew, you could get shanked, or you could get like it had that. But I get what you're saying. It wasn't on the level of North Star, PDC, all these man. They were real gangsters, like on road. Like,
But again, it depends because even
Max
content.
Town,
Like, when
like
you look at Kano
SMS,
Kamikaze and that, because Kano's so slick with it. Man's still talking about shanking man's wife and that, but because he's so
Yeah, but
slick with it.
shanking wives is a
No,
bit, that's what I
but-
mean.
Nasty Crew were kind of greasy as
No,
well.
but the thing is, because man's so cold with it lyrically and that, man can just do the thing and it's like boom, like what we were saying about J Hus.
Yeah.
The way man puts music together, man are talking some real gangster shit.
Yeah.
But because man packages it so well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it could
you're
be
right.
on one extra.
And you know what?
You know, but that doesn't
time's
mean
flying.
it's any less greasy, bro.
It's true.
I want to
It's
get our
so
top, let's
true.
get our top 5 together quickly. Let's get our double down top 5 together while we're here to counter it. What are we saying?
I can't put anything above Pow. Just because.
All right, so what's your 5?
Mine would definitely be Pow, then Talking the Hardest, then The Game Is Mine for sure, and then after that.
I feel like you got to put Robbery in there the way you was banging for a minute ago.
I love Robbery, blood. Robbery for me is a mazzoline, bro. Like Robbery has to be.
So wait, what did you say? You said Power Talking the Hardest.
Yeah, The Game Is Mine.
The Game Is
Biz
Mine.
for sure. Like
That's the three.
Robbery's definitely in there for me. Whether it's 4 or 5, what would go above Robbery though for me? Because I just remember how the clubs erupted when that tune went on.
I think some of the other ones we had on the table was Don't Waste My Time.
Which is another Krypton
No
Conan.
Better.
Don't Waste My Time was a mad thing, bruv. They even got
We didn't
French
even say
on
Sneak,
that.
Sneakbo Touch a Button.
That's
That
Yeah,
had
that's
impact at the
not for
time.
me, bruv. Do you know what I mean? I don't know about 5 because I feel like fives will
Yeah, I'd
always.
say top 10
I
for that.
feel that
I've
now.
got
Yeah,
my 5 though.
I ain't got my 5. You know why? Because I just feel like 5. It comes down to opinions and also where you were at the time and how it felt as a
but all
time.
of this is
But for
opinions.
me, the top 3, I can't. For me, it's not debatable.
Yeah.
Them
They
3
have
songs.
to be the 3 for you.
It has to be those 3 songs. I don't care what order you put them in. For me, that top 3 has to be them 3.
Nick, what's
Yeah.
your 5?
Talking the Hardest, Pow, No Better, Game's Mine, Don't Waste My Time.
I think your 5. I got the same 5 as you. I think just in a different order. So I'm going Talking the Hardest 1.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Power 2. I think 3. I think I'm gonna put No Better 3. You know.
Yeah.
That tune was massive, though.
I'm gonna just because do you know what swayed it for me? It's like what you said. The amount of people that have used the in their thing.
It
That just
trans-
became.
yeah,
That
just-
was like
yeah,
it
mad
transcended
influential.
drill.
Yeah. When you think of drill, you think of that song.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, I think yeah. I'm
It
gonna,
encapsulated the time, even like putting the footballers in the lyrics. Most like
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Excellent
I'm not
finish,
saying he
Mo
started
Salah.
that,
Yeah,
but I'm
that
saying
has
it
to be top
encapsulated
five.
at the time, like
Yeah.
an
I'm
era.
gonna go Don't Waste My Time 4 and The Game Is Mine 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that. I just think with Don't Waste My Time, then
French,
it went to
yeah.
America. French Montana dropped
Yeah.
on it. I remember what it was really doing to the raves at the time when Don't Waste. If she ain't fucking, she got to go.
Yeah,
Tell her don't waste my
Yeah,
time.
mad thing,
Please
innit?
wanna search me, stop my. It was bad. No.
Yeah,
Tell them don't
yeah,
waste
yeah,
my. Behave.
That's a
Yeah,
top
that
5.
Conan went
Behave.
mad with the
Yeah.
ad libs. I remember like you would see the praise to the Lord, nigga. In this cold world, I'm a
Yeah,
poor
that song
sit
was
up. We
big.
poured liquor.
That's mad.
Yeah.
So that means Krypton Conan got 2 in my top 5.
People don't put
that's
enough
mad.
respect on Krypton Conan's name, bro.
But they're the goats for me, innit? Like
They
in this
do.
rap thing.
Yeah.
They do. They've been
solidified.
consistent. They've given bangers, like bro. And
I think they're the best.
And
I
they've
think
got a real story.
they're hands down just the best at what they do. There's no one even close to them at what they do. But because they've got a niche, man disrespect them. That's what it is. You know when you stand alone in this thing, yeah, man don't respect you. Like they're filthy.
no,
bro.
do you know what I think it is? Do you know why I
And
think
you always think they're gonna run out of bars. And they
do you know why I think
Yeah,
people don't
it's
give them the
true, they
respect?
never, yeah.
I think the only thing is probably because
They could still jump on different.
yeah, I just think like when you're an artist, people look to you to pioneer a sound.
Yeah.
Like a sound. Once you pioneer, you come in with a sound and you pioneer a sound, you've kind of changed the
Yeah.
trajectory of a genre, kind of.
Yeah, like
so like
J
when
Hus.
J Hus came in,
Yeah,
it was
like J
like
Hus.
raw. Man's merged Afro with
Yeah.
rap on this level, and there might have been people that did it before him, but the person gets credited for the person that really made it big and did it and brought it to the
Yeah,
thing.
you're right.
And I think like.
It's just like Heady, innit? Heady's got his thing.
He pioneered
Yeah,
the sound.
yeah,
When you
yeah.
pioneer a sound,
Different.
it's different. It's like when Sneakbo came through, he came from the bashment thing, touch a
Yeah,
button, and then all of his
yeah.
things were wavy on a bashment sound. It's like when you do that, it takes you to another level. And I think Krypton Conan have been so sick of making rap bangers. Lyrically, they can spin a lot of people. They've always come up with like consistent good material. I think when you pioneer a sound, it just pushes you in another direction.
I don't know, but
that's why when you
I
look in
think it depends
America,
on the audience though. Because for me, yeah, like I love music, innit? So I
Yeah.
listen to the music, and when it comes to making music.